Yo, what's good guys? VENM here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my favorite pass defense in Madden 21. If you guys have played a couple of games of Madden 21 or not, you should know that this year is going to be a big year for passers. And what I mean by that is it's very easy to move the ball, it's very easy to get big plays in this year's game. So I'm going to show you guys a way to limit that as well as mix it in versus certain offenses, what I like to do. Depending on the hash mark. I'm just going to go over everything. So the defense of playbook I'm in is the multiple defense. I'm going to be in the nickel 3-3-5 formation. This is also in the Chiefs and the Seahawks live, as well as a couple of the specialty playbooks as well. But like I said, I'm in multiple. I don't even know if it's in MUT yet, but you could just go Kansas City or Seattle. So taking a look at the formation, the play we're going to be running is going to be this cover 3 sky drop. But first, before we go into any of that, let's go into our coaching adjustments. If you don't know, EA introduced something new. I always put my play ball defense and option defense on conservative, but the new thing introduced were the zone drops. So you have flats, curl flats, and hooks. And in a cover 3 based defense, I'm going to show you what I do. I personally go 25 on the curl flats, I go 5 on the flats, and then for hooks, I go anywhere from 15 to 20 depending. Usually I will go around 15, but you could also go 20, I'll just leave it at 20. So now that we got those done, make sure you have that. Now you can go to the 3-3-5. What's good about the nickel 3-3-5 formation though is that you can actually get safeties there. So I can put Duggar here, I could put Brooks here. You can just get safeties at all 3 linebacker spots, and in a game where usering is very slow, especially with linebackers, I think you need a safety in defense in order to have any success. So that's another plus. Anyways, the base play we're going to be running and adjusting out of is going to be this cover 3 sky drop. And again, you could also maybe do it out of 3 double buzz or cover 3 cloud. Like I said, I'm just going cover 3 sky drop. I'm going to go over just a basic setup, universal setup, and then later in the video I might mix in a couple of more advanced adjustments. Let's just come out in the base setup. And on offense, I'll just start out in a bunch. Let's just go with a Z spot. All right, so here's a look at the play art. You see we got just a base cover 3, and then we have a spy, 2 hook curls, and 3 rushers. So this year, the flats are very good. Curl flats, even base, without the zone drops, don't defend the flat. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead, put this player on a hard flat and this player on a hard flat. So I'm putting these 2 linebackers. The way I do that is by double tapping D-pad to the right, pressing X, and flicking my right stick to the right side. And then again, I do that for the A defender now. Also, one thing I do is I just go ahead, spread my linebackers. You want those hard flats out further, just in case, he quick snaps an out route or something. They're still in a position to make a tackle on that. So here's a look. Again, this is the base defense. Now, obviously, you're just usering right here in the middle of the field. You only have 1 user. Now, again, this is a base. I'm going to show you multiple other adjustments. This probably isn't even the best way to run it, but we'll just see. They'll go ahead, hike the ball. I will just lurk down on this little spot route and everything is covered. Now, keep in mind, you only have 3 rushers. So with 3 rushers, you could A, contain, or you could just go ahead, hope for the best, and slant outside. Typically, I like to slant outside, but if you're going against the Ravens or any scrambling QB with escape artist, even Daniel Jones could get out the pocket. You want to be careful of that. So anyways, you saw that everything was completely covered though. The corner route, I'll actually show you in the instant replay, was completely boxed by our curl flat. Look at this corner route, try to get over the top of the curl flat. It's Golden Tate, and look at our curl flat, defend that. If he throws that, you click on, you intercept it. Flats, again, look, he's just running. We have a hard flat there. If he throws it, it's a pick 6. Now, you could also put your hard flats at 0, and if you put it at 0, they will play directly on this marker at the line of scrimmage. But the problem with that is if they do end up escaping the pocket, they could actually playmaker the flats up, and it just isn't good. Sometimes for pick 6, they can actually throw right at you and it won't be caught. But again, over here, same thing. Now this player did get a little bit open, but right off rip, look at that. If he throws it here, you can click on, and by that time, he starts to scramble anyways. We got another adjustment for that. So hopping into our second variation of the coverage, and again, the base things I do are usually slant outside and spread your line, or spread your linebackers. I'm mistake in there. But again, you could also go ahead and press if you want and shade over the top. You get those players just jammed a little bit, makes your opponent a little bit uncomfortable. But again, the next setup is to actually only do the bunch side or the wide side. In this case, we don't particularly have a wide side. I am in the middle hash, but pretend I was on the left hash mark right here. The right side would be the wide side. So I'm putting a hard flat here, and let's say he's killing me with the scramble. I will just leave a spy and then user this player. Again, this is really if he's only, running for 10 yards every play with the escape artist. But escape artist is a little bit nerfed this year. It's a lot more hard. It's harder to get out the pocket than usual. And look at the spy. The spy actually does, a really nice job of defending that little spot route. So I could have even went and usered either the X defender or the X receiver or Saquon Barkley on his check and release. So again, I definitely don't like putting up spies unless I have to. I feel like it's a wasted defender. And this year, trust me, you need all of your defenders. But really, even if I wanted to play over the top, I could. And, this year, the name of the game is to not give up big plays. So I could just run this stock, and ultimately I could have success. Now, again, they're going to be able to take the flats all game long, but you could even go and user on the right, and maybe you try and lurk him on the flat routes. Really, you want to continue to give him the flats. Eventually, he might get impatient, try to attack upfield, but even if I am running it stock, I still have the opportunity to go ahead and user the flats like that. Boom, you see. And again, you just cannot give up big plays. As long as you're not giving up 20 plus yards plays, you'll be golden. You want to make him score in the red zone, most difficult part of the field to score in. So anyways, let's hop into our next setup, and it's going to be sort of similar. It's just without a QB spy, so I'll just spread my backers, slant outside on my D-line. And then what I will go ahead and do is just use this player. I will leave a hook curl. Basically, this will make it easier for me to use in the middle of the field. I won't really have to worry about routes on the left as much. And defending bunch, you kind of want to worry about the bunch receivers. Now, again, the flats are going to be completely open if you go with something like that. But a lot of times, and this is just the CPU, a lot of times everybody running bunch is going to block that running back. I haven't seen anybody ever usually, send him out on a route. So you really typically never have to worry about the flats on that side. So even if he was killing me, I could just maybe go with something like this and just completely shut down that side of the field. And then on the other side, maybe I go with something like this. And again, I'm leaving that hook curl over on the left side just to help out in case they do end up beating the man coverage. But still, we can use your Brooks right here. We have the right side defended. We will have any flat route with Saquon in case. And even if they don't put Saquon on the route, that player that's manned up with him will act as a QB spy. You see right there the incompletion. So if in case you didn't know, if you man up a player and they are actually blocking, so if I were to man up a tight end or a running back and they ended up blocking, that player actually acts as a QB spy. So you could always just man him up. If he ends up blocking, it's a spy. If not, then you have it completely defended. So again, here something I like to go to is maybe I just user this player and act as the flats defender. So I'm playing as the curl flat assignment right here. But you see, we still have our curl flat, hard flat. We don't want a double flat on that right side. And again, maybe I go ahead and man up somebody like this, or I could spy him to defend that spot route a little bit better. But just take a look at the coverage here. When they go ahead, snap that ball, you see Saquon actually did block there, and look at he acted as QB spy. Then he goes and checks and release later. I did press the right stick in there, so we left his assignment on Barkley. But you've seen. Anyways, let's hop into a different offense. Alright guys, here I'm in a little bit of a trips. I'm going to be running level sail. This is a concept out of Ace Twins, as well as Trey Y flex, trips tight end flex, trips tight end, level sail. Very good play. And any trips concept in general, you could use this base defense to defend. So we got the trips. Personally, does anybody really throw out routes to the left side, quick flat routes? No. So what you do is, again, this is sort of the same case scenario. Typically, they will have the trips on the wide side if they are a good player at all. But again, what you're going to do is you're going to put this A defender, this A linebacker in the hard flat. And again, I could press. I like to bring this guy down a little bit also, just to jump on that corner out better. But again, typically there is an inside zone threat, so I actually like to pinch, and I usually pull this guy out, Phillips. And then you still have your user right here. This is the base defense I go to, base cover 3. And again, there's not too many cover 3 beaters. Now out of bunch, there was that one. I completely forgot to mention that, but what you could have done, just pretend I'm against bunch right here. I could have put Gilmore in a deep half. That would have locked up everything. But anyways, here's the base universal defense. Now again, when you pinch your D-line, they're not going to get as good sheds as they would spread out. But if you spread your D-linemen, you will get inside zone to death. And you really don't want that to happen. So again, this is just the base coverage. Obviously, he might have an in-route open, and you can, adjust to that. But just as a base defense, and that was only against level sale, what you could go ahead and do. And again, if you notice him going with that setup a ton, or that level sale setup a ton, you might want to move your zone, your hook curl drops down to maybe 10 yards so that they're not playing so far up. So again here, I'm just going to put him in or I could even man him up on maybe X, get a little cross man type action, and then if I notice him just not ever using it, I could even man up Y right here if he's going with a level sale type concept. And again, I'm pinching my D-line, spreading my backers, and I could also go ahead, press. Maybe I shade over the top if I want. Now, if I do shade over the top, you see, or if I shade over the top later, you see that Duggar goes in that cloud flat. So you want to shade over the top in the beginning of the play, and then you can throw them in the hard flat. So here's a look at the coverage. Again, you just want to pick up on the tendencies. You do have 8 people in coverage, so it is real good. And again, that was a bad user by me, just not jumping on it early enough. But you see, we're able to get a hit stick. We're able to limit his yards. You want your opponent to throw the dig routes. You don't want him to throw the corner route over the top. Again, simple cat and mouse type game. So that's pretty much going to do it for the video. I do have a couple more defensive videos, but let me know in the comments what schemes you would like to see. I got a ton of video ideas coming, run schemes, more pass schemes, more money plays, pretty much everything for you guys. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more Madden 21 content, and peace. I'm out of here.